Nelly Corda. Par 5, 14th, Indy Park. Great look at birdie for Indy, who won here back in 2013.
Yeah, okay, so
back in the fairway.
I go this way.
Casual water.
Here's the water.
Yeah, I'm saying so you're probably off a little bit further than that. Still coming out of your heels though.
7?
Yeah. A little bit more, still coming out.
Yeah, with the club.
So let's see here.
Again, there was a 1-hour weather delay. Storms blew through this morning. Of course, this part of the country further south just hammered by Hurricane Laura. Take a look at our course setup. Brought to you by the Golf Course Superintendents Association of America, Pinnacle Country Club.
Yeah, we played to a par 71, a little over 6,400 yards. The zoysia grass fairways you hear us talk about a lot. Bent grass greens, which are in beautiful condition, but not maybe quite as speedy as they have been some other years. And a golf course generally that is in very good shape, and I have never seen it when it was not in very good shape.
Catherine Kirk is one of those 15 players who was in that very first tournament. Yeah, the rain this morning was nothing like what we had in 2007. The tournament had to be shortened to just 18 holes. It was an unofficial victory for the then Arkansas team member, University of Arkansas team member, Stacy Lewis. Now Catherine Kirk. To join Angela Stanford at 10 under. Will it hold up? Just a 3-round event, Judy, and the leader at 14 under. It's certainly a golf course you can get tomorrow, but it's going to be a tough task to catch the likes of Anna Nordquist. Danielle Kang for birdie at 16.
Lovely free-flowing stroke that Danielle has. This one goes back to the left, maybe a smidge downhill. I think as I've watched these players today, they've all struggled to really get the ball to the hole.
Ooh, like that, maybe? She's running out of patience. 15.
Yeah, and a Norquist here at the par 3. Jerry?
132 down the hill, plays 121, but into a little breeze. This is a pitching wedge. Full pitching wedge on a great line if it gets back there.
Yeah, just short. A good place to leave it, 25 feet up the slope.
Look at Nelly Corda, younger of the Corda sisters. Jessica trying to make the cut and struggling to do so today. This is Nelly to get to 9 under.
Oh, and it could have been so much lower as well. I mean, she's looking like she's very comfortable in the parts. She's just not quite getting the ball to drop in the hole for her at the moment. Not that that matters now.
She got off to a great start. 5 birdies on her first 9 holes. That's her first of the back. And she is in that tie for 6th. And you got to stay close. Final round tomorrow. We have an eagle opportunity here for Charlotte Thomas. And this could vault her into the top 10. 3 under on the day. The easiest hole on the course.
Par 5, 488 yards on the scorecard, but the tee shot plays straight downhill. Water at the bottom of the hill on the left, but an awful lot of players can get home here in 2.
Well, not what she had in mind. University of Washington star, to 17.
Yeah, let me know. We're at the par 3, 3 under par. Just missed a bunch of putts right on the edge. And that comes up about 25 feet short, going up the slope. Not too bad a shot today.
Par the next.
I guess you would call that a well-rounded game.
Would you think?
It's the 15th green. I just got a text from Missy Farquet, who's the Arizona State coach, coached with Anna Norquist, said when she moved back to Scottsdale, she's in a great place in her life, and it was so good to see her playing well again. Comes out to their practice facility, works on her game, but I think that's why you're seeing her play so well with a completely different attitude.
Well, she's made 7 birdies and 7 pars a day. Of those 7 birdies, 6 have been one of those oxymorons for most golfers. Disappointing birdies.
Hop 2 or 3 times.
Good putt.
You can't even stop her. It could hop 20 times and it's not going to stop her.
No disappointing par there.
No. Great putt.
That's the longest one she's made.
You know, if she birdies 16 and 17.
Stop.
And then Eagles
Grant.
18.
Grant.
Stop.
I thought we put a zipper on it already.
Just saying.
He's a very optimistic guy.
Is. Yes. She should be too.
I would agree.
Mine is late 79.
It's 16 NB Park. Lead is 15 under.
She's kind of way back with this second shot at 16.
Yeah. Wouldn't be surprised to see her knock that one in. Ahead to 17.
And Matali now for birdie, trying to make the cut, currently at 1 under. Did she? Yes. There you go. Roll Tide. Nice putt. Nice birdie. Par 5, 18th coming on.
There's a lot of reasons you'd like to see her play well, but one of the great ones is you get to hear her accent, which is so strong.
Here's the birdie putt for Charlotte Thomas. Coaching staff at Washington loved her moxie as much as her golf game. Said she was a kind of a born leader. Charlotte Thomas 7 under now. 17.
Yeah, no for birdie here now at 17. Gotta go a little to her right. Just to get the 4 under par's got to go. She's had that look the whole back 9. You hit it well, just don't make the putts. Got a lot of expectations. As good as she is, I can understand it. Speaking of expectations, Anna Norquist with a 2-shot lead, -8 on the round today. 17th tee, Nelly Korda here at the par 3.
Wind just a little bit into from the right. The mistake would be to go right. There's a slope left.
Didn't quite come off the slope. It was just really kind of the safe shot. Tricky hole location to get it all the way back here close. 16.
Well, let's see how quickly Anna Nordquist goes for the tee here at 16.
Pretty quickly, nicely struck. It'll end up left center on that line.
A tornado blew through here last October. It knocked out 130 trees, one on each side of the 16th fairway, making a difficult tee shot just a little bit easier. Anna Nordquist has made it look easy today. She had a share of the lead with Esther Lee, the American, and Jackie Stolting, an American, after 18 holes. She now leads it by 2. And all of these players are just trying to stay within shouting distance. And maybe they fall on deaf ears. Cut line at the moment is at -2. Up on the green at 16, this is Jasmine Suwanapura. Runner-up last week at Troon. And finds the bottom at 16. Twice a winner on the LPGA Tour. She's won each of the last 2 seasons, 2018, 2019, a team event last July, teaming up with Sydney Clanton. Well, this tournament has given us a glittering roster of champions. 8 of these 11 players at some point have been #1 in the world. Stacey Lewis was still in college at University of Arkansas down the road in Fayetteville when she won this unofficial event, shortened to 18 holes. Sunhwa Lee in 2008 was a Rookie of the Year. Lydia Ko in 2016, her last big year on tour. Here she is at the 16th for birdie. She's right on the cut line. She's got a fine back 9 to give herself a chance. She had a 5-shot lead with 6 holes to play 3 weeks ago at the Marathon Classic. Made double bogey at a reachable par 5 18th. Danielle Kang wound up winning for a second straight week, denying Lydia just her 2nd win in the last 4 years. Inbee Park with a par putt. You saw her name on that list of champions back in 2013.
Okay, get up and down, man.
2013 was a pretty good year for her. She's had a lot of good years.
Yes,
but
she
that
has.
in particular was a good one. Won the ANA, won the KPMG Women's PGA Championship, won the U.S. Women's Open.
17th, Nelly Korda for her birdie.
I always think this is a bit awkward, Jim. It's you get the feeling when you're standing over it that it is quite downhill, but just at the hole it wants to go back uphill again. And there is a little bit of break to the right as well.
I agree. She's kind of right there, just below that little bit of a slope. Right about there, it goes up the slope. Now it comes down. Downtown. There you go. Nice putt.
Perfection.
Absolutely. Good read by both of y'all. Sort of 10 under. There you go. There's 5 back. Back-to-back birdies.
That would have drawn a roar in most years here.
You think?
Normally the loudest hole on tour. Well, Anna Nordquist has created some roars for those watching with this phenomenal round. Here's her 2nd at 16.
141 yards to the hole, slightly uphill, into a little breeze. This is a full 8-iron. Another great lineup. It's enough. Every green in regulation missed 1 fairway, and that was by inches. I don't know how you do better than that.
Yeah, those are the days when you leave the golf course really satisfied.
That for a 9th birdie of the day to 17.
Danielle Kang now for birdie.
And not quite as high on that little ridge, that slope in the green as Nelly was. So this one isn't going to break quite as much, but will still do very much the same. Would have got a good idea on the last sort of half of Nelly's putt.
Oh, just blew it through the break. Got a good 3 feet past.
Birdie putt at the par 5 18th. Easiest hole on the course. Catherine Kirk. Well, a good day. 3 under par 68. But it's been a great day for Anna Nordquist. Nordquist is 8 under. She leads by 2, and she's got a short birdie putt at 16 when we come back. Nordquist looking for her 9th career victory and her first since 2017. And the LPGA Tour. Welcome you back to the Walmart Northwest Arkansas Championship presented by P&G. Day 2 of 3 of this 54-hole event. Grant Boone, Judy Rankin, Jim Gallagher Jr., Jerry Foltz, Karen Stupples, our entire crew. Glad to have you with us. Final event before the ANA Inspiration, and it has been ANNA today. Judy, Anna Nordquist at the 6th.
Yeah, this was a beautiful shot at the par 3. The fans were gathered on a couple of back decks and porches.
That was a 5th birdie in her first 6 holes. She had a share of the overnight lead at 7 under. And then after a birdie drought that stretched an entire 4 holes, she came back at 15 and did this. Bumpity, bumpity, bump. Birdie.
Oh, my.
The 33-year-old Swede, twice a major champion, leads it by 2. She's hit it tight again at 16. 62 starts since her last victory. It came at the Evian Championship, an odd week there in France with the tournament being shortened to 54 holes. Won at a playoff over Brittany Altamare. She leads Se Young Kim by a couple. Ellie Corda is trying to stay close, but that is proving increasingly difficult because of how Anna Nordqvist is playing. And here she is, and Jerry Foltz has had a front row seat all day.
It's not a seat, it's a treat. I just got a text from a good friend of mine, teaching pro in Northern California. He goes, it's always nice to watch great players play great golf. And that's what we're seeing right now. Just absolutely hitting the ball as good as she possibly can and making a lot of putts. This one ever so slightly downhill and a little bit of turn to the right, but it's been a treat. It's fun. It's really fun.
As I said, she cashed a check every week that she has played this year, but actually her best finish was tied for 22nd in Scotland.
This for her 9th birdie of the day. Look out. Well, Jerry, I think you said it. She's 8 under. She could be at least a couple, if not 3 better.
Oh, yeah, more than that. 8 pars? And like I said, 7 of them have been disappointing pars.
Her lead is 2 with 2 to play today. The 18th is where we find Emma Talley. And this is her unusual pre-putt routine. It's for eagle. I seem to recall Pernilla Lindbergh doing something similar when she won the A&A Inspiration. It worked for her. She beat Inby Park, of all people, in a playoff. Great putter in her own right. Emma finished high at the marathon. It earned her a trip into the AIG Women's Open. She's been grieving the loss of her good friend Cullen Brown, who played on the University of Kentucky men's golf team. And one of Cullen Brown's teammates was Max Mellis, who caddied, boyfriend of Sophia Popov. It was part of that amazing story that Popov authored last week to win the AIG Women's Open. Yelimi No for eagle.
I think the speed the greens are rolling, it would seem, you know, a little bit of a downhillish putt. Might be the putt you want to put a good stroke on it.
A birdie and a bogey for the 19-year-old from Northern California today. So many putts have been so close. She seems to have gotten a bit frustrated. And we see it again. She won the PGA Junior, the U.S. Girls Junior, and the Canadian Women's Am in successive weeks 2 summers ago. And now she's an LPGA member, one of the most promising players in the world. Anna Nordqvist this weekend has some promise for her. Leads by 2.
Lydia go for birdie. 5 top 10s here in a win since 2015. 15 straight under par rounds. Even par yesterday. Needs that one to drop, and she does. 3 under on a round today, so Cut line still right there at 2 under, 80 players. A little smile. That was just a moment ago. Now Anna Norquist now at the 17th tee.
No signal from her caddy here, but it plays a little uphill at 156 and into the breeze. Going with 7-iron. It's a full, complete 7-iron to get it back there. 147 to carry the bunker in line with the flag. Every shot she's hit today has been in line with the flag.
That was on line too. As you said, just couldn't quite get it back there, but that's okay. Have to get it all the way back there, Judy.
Yeah, big green from front to back. 37 paces are pretty close to yards.
At the 18th, second shot for Nelly Korda, who reached the 14th Karen in 2 that very few have ever done.
Well, this is much easier for Nelly on this one. She's only got 174, and this a 7-iron.
Wow.
Fading towards the hole. Any good?
Maybe. Bronte Law made an albatross last summer at the ShopRite. That's going to be a near kick-in eagle. And Judy, she's done what she's had to do, and that's just stay somewhere close.
Yeah, you know, I thought she needed to kind of rush at the end of this round to get herself close enough to have that good shot tomorrow, and I think now she's done it.
That's going to be for an 8 under 63. Got to be proud of that one. Hit movies, current shows, exclusive originals, timely updates. Watch for free. Upgrade for more. PeacockTV.com. All right, let's take a look at some notables on or near that cut line, which is at -2. So we talked about Nelly contending. Jessica's got to do something special in the final 3 holes to make the cut. Harry Tonnegarn's not going to do it, doesn't look like. Here is Jessica Korda at the 16th. Well, that's a start. There's a chance to maybe pick one up there. Sister Nelly just birdied 16.
Great similarities in the 2 golf swings if you ever see them side by side.
And Jessica withdrew from the AIG Women's Open last week. Back in action this week. Take a look at the top 10 of the Rolex World Rankings. Danielle Kang has moved to number 2. Just 2 Americans have ever ascended to number 1. Christy Kerr, that was 10 years ago, and Stacey Lewis, the other. Nelly Korda was number 2 in the world when we resumed in July at Inverness. 7 of the top 9 are here this week. Not sure when we'll see Jin Young Ko or Sung Hyun Park or Hyo-Joo Kim for that matter. The players in Korea having to make some tough decisions. There's a 14-day quarantine period when they go back to Korea, and many of them, I'm not sure they want to bite that off.
Norquist's car, what a 30.
Any good, Jim?
You would think so. Yeah, it's been pretty phenomenal. You know, you get sometimes a player of this ability, you get in those roles, you call it the zone, whatever you want to call it, and you get perfect yardages. You see the shots you're trying to hit, and you commit to it. And that's why you spend hours and hours on the driving range.
An eagle attempt for Danielle Kang. Karen, as a winner and a major champion like Danielle Kang, you just think about how odd winning can be. You think about the putt that Celine Boutier missed from short range at Inverness, and then the double bogey from Lydia Ko, and Danielle Kang put herself in position both times, and she came away with victories.
I mean, ultimately, you know, when you're winning, that's all that you can do. You have no control over what anybody else does, whether it is good or bad. And that's what Danielle does. She just keeps playing her game, and she's not intimidated by anything or anyone out on this golf course. And it's impressive when she's on a roll. And tough to beat.
I think she herself can be intimidating to others.
Danielle Kang is kind of a mighty little tough competitor. I don't know what it is about her, but you just know she means business.
You don't win back-to-back U.S. amateurs, do you? Without that mentality. 17.
Norquist for birdie.
Turning a little right, leaving the flag stick in. First time I have seen that today. Oh, just a little hobble there, Jim.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we talk about you don't lose your talents. You lose your beliefs and your talents. And I think, you know, when you're in a good place in your mind and you get here a week like this, you don't forget how to win when you won as many times as she has. You just free it up and go.
And an eagle attempt here from Minjee Lee. She's going to make the cut.
She's really, played these last few holes very solidly. Hit some quality iron shots, and she hit a 5-iron to get it to this part of the green. Should break quite heavily to the left, though.
Oh, it just hung out there.
As we look ahead to the A&A Inspiration in a couple of weeks, and then the KPMG, and then the U.S. Women's Open. Minjee Lee, Se-Young Kim, Nelly Korda, best players in the world rankings yet to win a major championship. This is an eagle attempt for Nelly Korda.
Well, Grant, Judy, I like Nelly's game for Mission Hills and the A&A.
I think length is a pretty big advantage at Mission Hills. If you have any kind of accuracy off the tee, length is big at Mission Hills.
The length of that eagle putt was a foot and a half. 63 for Nelly Korda. And she has a chance. She's 3 shots off the lead.
Absolutely perfect.
That's right down the sprinkler line, Judy.
That's the speed slot, it looks like.
Caddy Paul Cormack said absolutely perfect, and that's not the first time he said that today. All right, having just finished, Danielle Kang, she's with Karen Stupples.
Thanks, Grant. Danielle, we've been watching your great play recently, winning twice as we come back out of COVID. You go overseas to Scotland and now having to come back here to completely change your game. What has the transition been like from links golf to now here in Arkansas?
I've been playing well, definitely. I'm just trusting my game. Last couple weeks have been a little bit rough. Links golf was a bit different, traveling overseas, but it's part of playing golf. And the greens are a bit faster, so I think subconsciously I'm just not hitting it as hard, so leaving a lot of putts short, and putts are dying off before the hole and things like that. But it's softer, so it's warmer and softer, and it's definitely different from last week.
And as you look forward to tomorrow, what kind of goals will you set for yourself for tomorrow's round?
I'm looking at the leaderboard, and the leader's pretty out there, so I knew that this was a 3-day event, and I needed to throw some low numbers in there in the beginning. But I mean, tomorrow, like I said, I'm going to try to shoot as low as possible and try and make as many putts and see what happens and see where I end up on the leaderboard.
We'll look forward to watching it happen. Thanks for your time.
Cool.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Inby Park at the 18th. Danielle said she spoke to her idol, Annika Sorenstam, about those 54-hole events and the mindset you need, and going into Inverness, which was a 54-hole event a few weeks ago. Annika said from the first tee shot, you've got to be thinking aggressively. And she shot a bogey-free round that first round and went on to win it. 17.
Jessica Korda. Here's the par 3, 156 yards. Got to make at least a birdie eagle to just give herself a chance. Cut right at 2 under. 80 players. There's a start.
Now that's a good shot. Closer to getting all the way back to the hole.
Well, we got a moment. Let's send it down to Karen and Nelly Korda.
Thanks, Jim. Nelly, watched a fabulous round of golf out there from you today. Looked 63, and it looks to me like you're playing really aggressively. Is that the feel that you want to bring to this golf course?
Oh, definitely. You have to shoot really low numbers out here to even be in contention, so you have to be very aggressive.
And looking forward to tomorrow, going to be a couple back. Do you have a number in mind, or are you just going to go out and take it as low as you can?
Yeah, I'm going to take it as low as I can. It's going to take a low one to win tomorrow, so just going to stick to my game plan, try to have fun out there, and try to shoot a low one.
Well, I enjoyed it. Thanks very much for your time.
You.
Good luck tomorrow.
Thanks.
Let's take a look at Nelly, and just had a tremendous start. This was for her 4th birdie in 8 holes. And then at the 9th for a second shot up the hill.
Yeah, played that from a little short Bermuda rough straight up the hill. Just a 9-iron, a wedge, and a beautiful shot.
There were a lot of club twirls today from Nelly. And then the birdies began to dry up until the 16th. Curled it in. Did another birdie at 17, and then, Judy, when you've got this kind of power, it is such a weapon, isn't it?
Well, this is pretty amazing. This was a very good tee shot and a 7-iron. Good heavens.
Yeah, little fist bump. Caddy Jason McDeed. Lydia Ko was a couple of shots outside the cut line when she made the turn, but got busy at the beginning of the back 9. This for eagle at 18. She's going to tap it in for a birdie 4. She's going to go to 4 under and make the cut with a couple of shots to spare. 54-hole event.
So there was a little bit of wind this morning that certainly played havoc with some shots, but for the most part, it's been quite a quiet week.
15.
Pernilla Lindbergh. This for birdie to get the 5 under par. There you go. Nice putt. So she makes birdie at the par. Look at those couple twos there on the back 9. So gets her to 5 under par. She's going to run over there to 16 tee. To 18.
And the green is clear. And a green a little left of the fairway.
In that Bermuda rough, right at 210 yards to the hole. Not such a downhill lie that you can't pull this off, but with an iron in hand, it has to be struck very solidly. Not going to have a lot of spin. That is a knuckleball out to the right edge.
This is their first tournament in the States. She played the 2 events in Australia at the beginning of the year and then played the 2 in Scotland. First in the States this year. Well, here is the woman of the moment. And Nordquist 8 under today and in the fairway again.
Yeah, I mean, my first instinct was kind of hit that joint too.
Yeah.
It's coming a little bit off the left, right?
Correct.
Because it's still...
I don't look at it when we're on this tee. If you're anywhere, kind of like, I've actually got it even marked before we even got.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're in there, it's fine.
Because it shouldn't really be that much help anyway.
Yeah. Pull up the bank steps, some of it full
It's
kind
still
of
aggressive.
Yeah. I mean, just kind of feel it in there, you know what I mean? Got your target?
Slightly left of it, right?
Yeah. All right. Stay committed to it, okay?
Going with a version of a 4-iron. This is a hybrid. 185 to the hole. 303-yard tee shots. It's only 163 front. This always seems to play a little longer, but she does not have to demolish this one at all.
Caught an area that's a little more flat than some others, didn't she, Jerry?
It is. It's just a couple of yards short of having almost a truly flat lie. But with a hybrid, that's probably the easiest club to hit off this lie. Got it very solidly. It's left of the hole where she was aiming.
And I think it'll stay up in that thicker cut. How about that lead?
It's a very, very possible up and down, but one club too many, no doubt.
Up and down for a 62 if she can do it.
Concordia now for birdie here at 17. This to get the even par. Current cut line at -2. There's 80 players. It's tied for 68th. Last time I looked, did she? 2 makeable putts on the last 2 holes. Just didn't quite get it done.
This is Mel Reed for birdie at the 16th. Cut line is 2 under. There's a chance it could go to 3. Certainly won't go back to 1. Here's our leader, Anna Nordquist, third shot, par 5, 18th.
And not surprisingly going with putter. Surprising for many other players, but she opts to do this more than any player I've ever seen in professional golf.
She doesn't like chipping, does she?
Well, you know what? When you watch her practice, it's as good as it gets. But if there has ever been one flaw in her game, even when she's playing this great, it's always been that doubt in her mind about pulling off a difficult pitch shot. And it would be a difficult pitch shot. But putting it, I just don't see any way to get it close. She'd have to take it up into the left fringe toward the bunker.
I would not have seen the putter coming, but I do see that the ball, we got a really good close-up of the ball, Jerry, from our camera work, and the ball sits pretty nicely.
Yeah, on that zoysia. It's a downhill lie, and it's going to be landing on a downhill side hill cliff if she were to pitch it. So this takes out all the variables, and I've seen her pull off some incredible putts at times when I can't believe she pulled a putter.
Yeah, move it that way and just flip it so this side. Yeah.
Yeah, she's having area move her mark, which is only about 4 feet on the green from the left edge, to give you an indication of how high she has to hit this.
So she's just trying to get it to the top of that little hill, that little slope off the left edge of the green, and then kind of let it die down to the hole?
Yeah, and she's aided by just this initial slope off the back fringe is going to turn it a little left and give it a better angle.
There's always a right thing to do on shots around the greens. But for an awful lot of people, the right thing to do is the thing you believe in.
Very, very well put.
Pretty good, Jerry.
Yeah, that would have been an amazing pitch shot to get it that close.
Looked like a snake slithering down there.
All right, Karen Stupples is working hard with a microphone. She's got Inbee Park.
Well, Inbee's great to hang out with, and we were paying close attention down there to what was going on with Anna, and it was pretty fun to watch. And Inbee, I've enjoyed watching you. And last week you had your husband on the bag instead of Brad. How was that experience for you?
Well, and I really enjoyed that experience. I just, love playing golf in Scotland itself, but being my husband on the bag with me for that week was really special, and we did really well as well. And he did well as well, so I'm happy with that.
That was nice. And now obviously you've got Brad back on the bag here. And how important has it been for you to come back and play golf on the LPGA Tour after the COVID break?
Well, I think everyone really missed the competition and everyone out here. But I think the safety is the most important thing that we needed to think about. And I think things are getting a little bit better now. And I think we know how to protect ourselves, and we know how to stay away from each other. And I'm really glad that, we are back here, and the protocols that we are doing, and the LPGA is doing a great job of keeping everyone safe. I feel safe, playing, and seeing a lot of people competing out is great fun.
You've been at the top of your game now for a number of years. You've achieved just about everything that anybody could wish for within the women's game. What keeps you motivated?
Well, just about everything. Some moments I, try to find, what is my motivation. But, I kind of, learned that everything could be my motivation. It could be, for mom this week. It could be for dad this week. It could be for my husband this week. It could be just for the fans who cheer for me. I think it's just everything that is just change your thoughts, I think, is what is important. If you think that there is no motivation, there is no motivation. But if you think there is a motivation, there is always a motivation.
Well, thanks so much for your time, and have a good one.
Thank you.
She began the year front-loading her schedule in hopes of making it back onto the Korean Olympic team to defend her gold medal from 2016. And, of course, that's been pushed back to next year. Well, we had some overcast most of the day. The sun is out. Here's Nordquist for a closing birdie.
Up the hill, very slow, favoring the right side of the hole.
What a day.
9 birdies, 9 pars, 18 greens in regulation. Doesn't get much better.
It was a joy to watch. And Anna Nordquist has a 3-shot lead, which he will carry into the final round tomorrow, trying to win for the 9th time. 62 from Anna Nordquist, trying to go wire to wire with at least a share of the lead after each round. Shot 64 yesterday, 62 today. All 18 greens in regulation. There's Jasmine Suwanapura, solid 67 today. She is with Karen Stupples.
Thanks, Grant. Jasmine, nice solid round of golf today, but really I look back to last week where you really gave it a good run at the AIG Women's Open. How has the transition been from links golf to playing here in Arkansas been for you?
I noticed it that as soon as I play the course here, I feel like, where's the wind go? Like, I feel like, ooh, like now it's no wind, and, you know, I mean, every shot is still, you know, a target right here, you know, especially the green is a little tricky and you really need to hit it closer to the flag to have a chance to make birdie here. I mean, just the same concept in golf.
Well, and you, of course, won the team event, Dow Great Lakes Bay Invitational, with a great partner, Sydney Clanton. We all noticed what a great putter you were and how you fashioned your game sort of around that. How big of a deal is it on these greens to be able to read them correctly and to putt well?
Yes, it's really, I think it's a key for this week. Like, you know, there's a lot of tricky holes out here, and then even though you hit it close, it doesn't mean you're going to read it correct and you're going to make the putt. There's no guarantee to make birdies out here. To just, you know, give yourself a chance out here and just try to make birdie as much as you can and have fun with golf this week.
Well, thanks very much for your time and good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
At the 18th, Jessica Korda. Looks like she's going to miss the cut. Unless this goes in. Sister Nellie's second shot nearly did go in. Should come back a little. Let's go back to 17.
Lindbergh now at the 17th, the par 3, 6 under par. Just kind of tugged that just enough. 4 birdies and a bogey on her card today. And it goes back down the slope. That'd be a tricky putt for birdie. Currently in a tie for 23rd.
Well, as we look ahead to the LPGA's next major, let's look back with this week's takeoff to the ANA Inspiration as we celebrate some of the recent leaps into Poppy's Pond. That was Brittany Lincecum in 2015 after her second ANA title. Then Lydia Ko, dominant #1 in the world, made birdie in the 72nd hole. She was the youngest to win a second major. And then that 2017 ANA, So-Yeon Yu, her second major, beat Lexi in a playoff. And then on a Monday morning, outlasting